Ways to reduce a JPEG file size with Raster Image Printer 12. It is difficult to provide clear and simple instructions on how to reduce the file size of the JPEG images you are creating, because the methods you should use is completely dependent on your input files. A primary issue you may encounter is trying to balance file size with image quality. If you are struggling to reduce your file size, please contact Peernet support, and we'd be happy to help you work with your specific files. Raster Image Printer does, however, offer a few methods by which you can reduce your JPEG file size. The two best methods to look at are color reduction and compression options. Begin by creating a custom profile that you want applied during conversion. The profile is a group of settings that will create the output image you want. Double-click on the Raster Image Printer icon on your desktop to launch the Raster Image Printer dashboard. If you have removed the Raster Image Printer icon from your desktop, you will find it by selecting Start and scrolling down to Raster Image Printer. Select Edit and Create Profiles. Select Add Profile. Name the profile something you will recognize. In this example, I will call it Demo Profile. You also have the option to add a custom description. Color reduction is set on the Save Options tab. Color reduction refers to the number of colors that are saved in the output JPEG image. The default setting is Reduce Colors to Optimal Palette, which means that Raster Image Printer will reduce each page down to the smallest number of colors required to represent each page. Therefore, all colors present in the original file will be maintained in the output JPEG image. Other color reduction options include Reduce to black and white, Reduce to grayscale, Reduce colors to 256 color palette, Reduce colors to 16 color palette, Reduce colors to optimal palette, a maximum 256 colors, Reduce colors to optimal palette, maximum 16 colors, and none. All of these options will limit the number of colors saved in the output JPEG image to different degrees. If you have files with images, you could test reducing the number of colors in your JPEG image, but this may change the coloration of the image. Alternatively, you could reduce to grayscale to create a grayscale image. If you have files with just text, switching to Reduce to Grayscale will have no impact on the file size because Reduce Colors to Optimal Palette is already reducing it to grayscale. Note, selecting Reduce to black and white will just create a grayscale image because the JPEG file format does not support the creation of monochrome images. Closely linked to color reduction are the compression options located on the Compression tab. For JPEG images, JPEG compression comes in the form of determining the JPEG image quality level you require. Logically, requiring high image quality will produce the largest file size. JPEG compression is set at medium quality by default. You can experiment with lowering the image quality, but at times a low quality factor, which produces a smaller file size, will degrade the output image quality too much. Whether you experiment with the color image slider or grayscale image slider is dependent on the color reduction option you selected on the Save Options tab. Lastly, you may be tempted to change the resolution in an effort to reduce your file size. By default, we have set the resolution to 300 dpi. We would not recommend changing this setting unless absolutely necessary. In most cases, 300 dpi should create a quality image without creating an overly large file size. If you need to change the resolution, keep in mind that for text documents, anything less than 120 dpi will be unreadable. When you are done making changes, click Save and Back and close the Profile Manager. If you wish to make this profile the default profile used by Raster Image Printer, select Manage Printers. Beside Raster Image Printer, drop the box for the profile and select Demo Profile as the default profile. Save your changes. Printer management also allows you to rename the printer and create multiple copies of the printer. Close Printer Management and the dashboard. Now when you print to Raster Image Printer, the color reduction, compression options, and resolution settings you selected will be applied to your output JPEG image. Try out our Raster Image Printer for yourself and see how easy and effective it really is. Click the link below to download a free trial.